just walking back. I'm just trying to be quiet. Like, oh, they're gonna hear my footsteps. Oh, the aliens are here. I'm gonna die. But that was the thought process with me, at least. Like just walking back.
Nerd reactor, roll out.
What's up, everybody? John here. I'm with a very special guest, Mike, over here, and
Hi.
we just came out of watching A Quiet Place, day one, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts, Mike, and also just kind of dissecting on what we've experienced. But so far, initial gut reaction on your thoughts on this movie. What is it?
I really liked it. I pretty much kind of had, I wouldn't say lowered expectations, but uh I didn't like some of the ways that they were kind of like no early reviews were showing up. I was like, usually you come on, John. You know whenever they hold reviews like that until like right before the movie comes out, it's usually not a good sign.
Yeah.
But when we finally, got to go to the theaters and actually got to see it in theaters with a live crowd. It was great. Now I really enjoyed it. I don't know why they did it that way, but whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just to get more buzz. I don't know.
I know, because usually you want more buzz ahead of time, because it's like so
Yeah.
last minute. And usually when it's the same thing with video game reviews, movie reviews, when they hold things back, it's kind of like they're not confident in the product. But this one, I'm not sure what happened, because for me, like, I really enjoyed this movie, and I talked to a bunch of other colleagues of mine, and pretty much the consensus is like everyone enjoyed it, and just good performances, with like Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. I think those two, they're just good performances. And I'm pretty sure you think the same thing too.
Oh yeah,
And
they were definitely the two basically driving the movie. They still had some, I mean, Demon, which is Hansu, he was in it for like a second. Like he's not really in the movie as much as you probably think from just judging from the trailer. I don't want, I mean,
yeah,
no, I'm not trying to like spoil anything. I didn't realize Alex Wolf
was in it.
he was from yeah, he's in Hereditary. I think he's getting more into like the horror movie stuff, and obviously like Hereditary, and then you have a movie like this, and yeah, he had a pretty good part in it for like his
Yeah,
just his little small role that he had.
yeah, and just these actors, you're thinking like, oh, they're gonna have more parts, but it's just small roles, because the main chunk of it is Lupita and Joseph, and both of them, I really like. Because okay, the story is pretty simple, like Lupita, she is, she's very ill, and she's in this world with the day one of the aliens coming, and uh, everyone's living. It's in New York City, and I love the intro, like talking about how New York City is loud, and like the average sound of New York City outside is the same as like a person screaming. I was like, oh, that's a good setup, and the thing is, she's on this journey of. I don't think it would be like a huge spoiler, but like she just wants to just enjoy pizza before. So, and like me, I love pizza. So if it's like a world apocalypse that's happening, I'm probably like, you know what, I gotta get pizza before I die.
If you only had one food that you could have before you die, would it be pizza or carne asada fries?
Ooh, man. Okay, depends on the type of pizza. Because if it's deep dish, Chicago deep dish, but then carne asada fries, like from my favorite joint.
Yeah.
I think I would choose carne asada fries, because it has a lot of stuff, like the fries and the cheese and the meat, and it's just a whole lot of sauce, like just a lot of flavors in that. And it just makes me really happy. Like comfort. It's my comfort food. What about
No,
you?
but yeah, I think I would choose maybe like a burger. I don't know if there's like a specific burger place.
Yeah,
One of the things we don't have out here in Vegas is a lot of the little burger mom and pop places that are in Cali. And so
yeah.
that whenever I go back, I always try to get like a couple burgers in. But yeah, a good burger I think would probably be my last meal or whatever.
Yeah, the last hurrah for this. Yeah, and for this, Lupita's last meal, it's gonna be pizza, and like the story. Like, the story is pretty simple. You know, you already know, like, the aliens are here, the creatures. They hear sound. That's the thing, and then they just follow it, and they will kill you, and you're screwed. And a lot of people, dumb people, would shout, and then they die. So yeah, well, sometimes, when you're afraid, you can't control just, your body. Like, sometimes you would freeze. Like, there are different types of way that people would freak out. Like, it's fight or flight, and sometimes they would just say things and just freak out, and then they die. So, yeah. So don't freak out. So you got to maintain composure. Because it's like we've seen the two movies before, A Quiet Place, and we know the drill. But when it happens in real life, you never know. Because sometimes people piss themselves. Yeah, they pee their pants. They can't control it.
Like, even
Yeah,
in the theater when it got like quiet, like you can hear people moving. Like, it was really weird. Like, you could hear people rustling their popcorn bag or something. Like, I
yeah.
could hear somebody in the like a few rows in front of me, and you're just like shh, shh.
Oh, that's true. Because, like, you're watching this movie, like, I felt that too. Like, sound is more important now. And anything with, like, whispers, like, okay, I had to go to the bathroom during the movie. Uh, it was during, like, the scene with Joseph Quinn, and he's trying to get some medicine, and just walking back. I'm just trying to be quiet, like, oh, they're gonna hear my footsteps. Oh, the aliens are here. I'm gonna die. But that was the thought process with me, at least, like, just walking back, because it makes you think about that. And I think with the sound, I love the way the movie plays with sound, like with lightning, the thunder with the lightning, and then also with rain, and how people would interact. Like, oh, now's the time where, because right now your background, it's raining right now, so that means we can talk. We can
Yeah.
whisper to each other.
Yeah, I think a lot of the majority of this movie has no dialogue. I mean, there's some dialogue, but it's not really vocal. A lot of it's just facial expressions. And like Lupita, there's a couple scenes that she had where it's like she can convey so much in her face, like
Yeah,
as far as like how terrified she is. And I was like, I'm scared for her. Like, you could just see like she's like looking out of the corner of her eyes, like at
yeah.
you, and you're just like, oh, I'm terrified because I can tell you're terrified.
Oh
And
yeah,
like
and yeah,
you can't even talk. You can't even say anything. You can't be like run. You can't be like, be quiet. Just there's you literally can't make any noise between the two people that are in the scene, but like there's so much that she's able to convey just from her facial expressions.
yeah. She's got the face for that, just for the different, like, with fear and with just happiness and disgust, just all of the range of emotions. I think Lupita was, like, the perfect casting choice for this character, and Joseph Quinn, I think, is another great actor to be in this, and I loved him in Stranger Things, and I'm happy to see him in more projects, because something about Joseph Quinn, like, you see him, you're already excited, and you're rooting for him. Like, even if he's like, because in the movie he's afraid, but I'm like, he's there. It's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be all right, Joseph. I'll take care of you. And then another thing I want to talk about, the cat, the cat Frodo,
Yeah,
and
Frodo.
such a cute cat. And oh, look, there's a cat. There's Snow. Come here, Snow. She's like,
Save
see,
Frodo. That's what she says.
yeah, but here's Snow. My cat would probably not survive because I don't know. She's quiet now, but Frodo in the movie, I'm like, whoever trained this cat just is pretty good, because in this world where if you make a sound, the creature's gonna come after you, and there are moments where, like, oh, I love the way they utilize the cat. Like, this is a tense scene, but the
Yeah.
cat is just too adorable.
Yeah, like same thing with Rhino over here at our house. She's too chatty.
Yeah,
She talks too much. She's a very vocal cat. She would not make it through A Quiet Place.
yeah,
I would have to either I probably have to leave her behind. Because she meows too much. Anytime she gets
yeah.
hungry, anytime she's inconvenienced, she has to let everybody know. So yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, Frodo, what a great character, on-screen character, So yeah, but like the scenes you see him in, he's able to like navigate around, and like he comes back to Lupita's character, and he's just like, "Hey, like what's going on?" Like, like almost like the world isn't ending outside, and he's like completely fine with whatever's going on. But I always thought he was like a great character, but also a great like companion for Lupita and Joseph Quinn's character.
Oh yeah. And the creatures I want to talk about, just how, because in the previous films, it's just like not that many. Here you really see a lot.
A
You
lot
see
of
a lot
them.
of you see a lot of them. You also see a lot of people, and it kind of makes sense because during that time in New York, there's a lot of people. The way they move is kind of like, it reminds me of zombies. Kind of like in what is it, World War Z, or
No,
just like
yeah.
a swarm of bees or locusts. Like, just when they hear a sound, it's like a whole bunch. Just whoosh. I'm like, oh, this is like, if you're like standing in the middle of that sound, you are screwed. You're dead. And I was
Wait,
like, yeah, not good.
yeah, and they when they come running by, it's like a herd of buffalo or something that's like running
Yeah,
by. Like they shake everything around them, and I mean, I was talking to somebody while we were waiting to come into the screening. I don't know if you remember when we were covering like Walking Dead, and I remember there was a lot of hype around Fear the Walking Dead,
yeah,
and because it's supposed to be right when the outbreak happens, right? Like you're
yeah.
supposed to see it as it happens, but then the majority of the time you don't really see it. You just hear it in the background because they're in like a store or something. I mean, this it's kind of similar, but they give you way more action as far as there's more running, there's more, oh crap, we need to get out of here moments as opposed to Fear the Walking Dead. I don't remember it being that heavy. And then by like the end of it, or like within the first episode, you go outside and like, oh, it's already over. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not over, but like the world's over. But like here, you get more of like, okay, they're here. It's getting worse. We need to get out. Like
Hmm.
everybody needs to leave Manhattan, and then they take a cue out of The Dark Knight Rises, and
Yeah, yeah. And then
nobody's leaving.
yeah, the what I liked about this is that I don't think any of the characters, what they've done in this, like usually with these horror type movies, suspense movies, some things the characters do, like, man, what are you, an idiot? Don't do that. But here, I feel like it feels like, I get it, I understand. Like when certain things happen, let's say when certain characters have to go on a mission to retrieve something, I'm like, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
what else can you do? and and sometimes they say when someone trips or falls, I feel like it's like people, sometimes like, oh, sometimes, oh, I didn't know that was gonna move. I was forgetful at that moment, and I screwed myself over. So, but I feel like it wasn't like done in a way where it's like, oh, where you're like just groaning and just like, oh, this is dumb. But I felt like, yeah, this it's just like, oh, why'd you do that? But it's still, I like understood it. I don't know
No,
about you,
yeah,
how you,
like
if you
a
felt
lot.
that.
Yeah, like a lot of the moments you're talking about, like I mean, we obviously won't, get too in detail because of spoilers, but I felt that way as well. Like they did a good job of making it seem um it made sense within the plot of the story or within the characters for reasons why mistakes happen, or somebody trips over something, somebody pushes over something, and you're like, yeah, I mean, I understand why, because this person is you know for whatever reason, it all makes sense. It's not
Yeah.
like you said, like typical 80s horror films, like don't go in that room, like don't go in that room. And they actually did a really good job of one of the deaths, which I won't mention which character it is. They showed it in a trailer, and I didn't know who it was until I was watching the scene, and I was like, oh no, like not this character. But like watching the trailer and seeing that scene, I had no idea that that was the character that dies or whatever. But I mean, they did a really good job. I think they did a good job of like not just keeping you in suspense, but making you want to see these characters get out, like or wanting to see them succeed or make it out alive.
Yeah. And speaking of just characters where you want them to succeed, I like just the chemistry between Lupita and Joseph together, and like I really like the bond, and just like at first it's like these two. It's like a story about these two strangers. How are you gonna make these two strangers care about each other? And I think they did a really good job with that. And I was like, wow, like it's just done in a way where it just felt natural, and I like
It
that.
felt genuine too, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, this at that point, there's a point where they just the world is over basically. Like, whatever aspirations they had outside are thrown out the window. Like they're just trying to live for the day or live to get pizza. That's
yeah,
basically their survive, possibly get pizza.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's like their main things on their agenda, and it just feels so natural, and they're both great together, and yeah, I can't wait to see more from Joseph Quinn. Well, he's also in this as British. He's actually a British
Yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. I want to see what he's gonna do for his voice for Johnny Storm.
Oh
So
yeah, he's gonna be
that
like, "Hey, what up, bro? Flame on, dude." He's gonna be such a. I wonder if they're gonna make him a bro. But yeah, no, yeah, because his accent, like, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, he's British, but then he's such a good actor, so I really love his performance here, and Lupita and Frodo the cat. I think that's we can close this off because it's just try to keep this spoiler free as possible,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say my because I tweeted this out. My thing is Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn are absolutely captivating in A Quiet Place. Day one, they really shine during scenes with little to no dialogue, and Frodo the cat is just too adorable. It's a very human story in a world that is overrun by aliens, and so yeah, those are my thoughts. What about yours?
I would just say save Frodo. Okay, just we got to save Frodo.
Yes.
Get the hashtag going. If you don't know, they have a whole marketing thing for the movie where it says, just for just one ticket, the price of admission for a ticket to the movie theater, your money can go to saving this cat in the movie. Does
Is that what
Frodo
it's?
survive?
Is that
I don't know.
is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. They actually
Wow.
made a trailer for it. So yeah, so if you guys want to save Frodo, go see this movie. Because like I think
Wow.
with like the things we were talking about before about the whole like
Because that's the thing for Lord of the Rings. Save Frodo. They have the
yeah.
button pin. Save Frodo.
But like we were talking about the like early reviews and like the late reviews now, I guess, or like right when it's coming out. I want this movie to do well. Like I liked it, and
Oh yeah.
you seem like you liked it, so I hope people come out and see this. So if you are at all like hyped from what me and John are talking about, go see this movie. Go support these movies because they deserve it.
Oh yeah, and yeah, once you get a chance to watch this movie, let us know on the comment section below. Do you agree with us? Do you think we're crazy? Just let it all out. But yeah, with that said, I'm John,
And I'm Mike.
and we'll see you guys next time.